Imagine a galaxy where technology reigns supreme, a place where every system is so advanced that even the smallest malfunction sends shockwaves through the finest minds. In one such pristine alien research facility, panic strikes as an essential system begins to collapse, sending the entire operation into a frenzy. Nothing in their ultra-advanced toolkit can seem to stop the chaos. But when all else fails, they turn to the last option they'd ever consider. A human engineer from Earth, armed with nothing more than a roll of duct tape, a coffee mug, and an attitude that screams casual crisis management, this human might just be the alien's best shot at avoiding total disaster. Could it be that Earth's so-called primitive species actually has the upper hand? Stick around to find out how humanity's most basic tools and an unbothered attitude turn the tables on a hyper-advanced civilization. What's your go-to tool for fixing the unfixable? Comment below. In a sector of the galaxy far removed from Earth's humble orbit, the planet KXLA-9 hosts a massive research facility known throughout the interstellar community. Here, every corner gleams with alien technology far beyond anything Earth has ever seen. Machines that operate on thought command, rooms that adjust temperature and gravity with a wave of a hand, and diagnostics that take mere seconds to analyze the most complex systems. For the alien researchers stationed here, this technology is not just a tool, but an extension of their very being. It represents the pinnacle of advancement, the culmination of eons of scientific progress. To them, relying on this technology is as natural as breathing, and it has made them, in their own eyes, untouchable. But today, a hush falls over the facility. Screens flash red warnings and symbols indecipherable to human eyes, while alien technicians scramble in a rare show of panic. It seems that, for the first time, a key system in the facility has developed a fault so complex that not even their most brilliant minds can solve it. The issue? A containment system for a powerful, highly sensitive energy source has begun to destabilize. If not resolved, the consequences could be disastrous, not only for the facility, but for a large swath of nearby space. The aliens are at a loss. They've tried every known protocol, run every diagnostic. Their data suggest that this issue simply shouldn't exist. "Our system is flawless," mutters Verlix, the chief engineer, a tall, thin alien with skin that reflects the facility's sterile lighting. "We've built this to withstand every conceivable threat." Around him, fellow technicians whisper in uneasy tones, each desperate to avoid Verlix's gaze. For their kind, admitting a system flaw is a profound embarrassment, a blemish on their reputation as galactic leaders in technology. Their pride won't allow them to seek outside help, yet the flashing alerts and rising containment pressure give them no choice. In their hasty conference, one name reluctantly surfaces, a name that comes with a mix of amusement and disbelief: Earth. They call it a death world, a place filled with creatures and environments so harsh that mere survival there seems unlikely. And yet, its dominant species, humanity, has made it work. They've adapted, thrived even, in conditions no other species would tolerate. "But we can't be serious," protests Merkva, a younger technician whose skepticism is palpable. "You want us to call on a death worlder? They don't even use proper quantum field stabilizers. How could they possibly help us?" There's a murmur of agreement, but Verlix holds up a hand, silencing them. "We have no choice. Every moment we delay, containment pressure rises. Protocol demands that we exhaust every resource, and right now, that means reaching out to Earth." With a grim expression, he turns to the communication console, where a request is sent, humbly yet reluctantly, to the Terran Federation for assistance. On Earth, this request finds its way to a small team of engineers, seasoned problem solvers who have cut their teeth on everything from skyscraper wiring to nuclear reactors. Within hours, the Terran Federation has dispatched an expert, Alex Marquez, an unassuming but resourceful engineer known for their creativity under pressure. As Alex boards the ship, they pack only the essentials: a multi-tool, a thick roll of duct tape, a few wrenches, and a thermos of strong coffee. When Alex's ship arrives at KXLA-9, the aliens prepare to welcome their primitive visitor. They line the entrance to the docking bay, observing the human vessel with a mix of curiosity and disdain. The ship is a modest affair by their standards. No sleek design, no gleaming metal alloy. It's plain, functional, and unmistakably human. To the aliens, it looks as if it was cobbled together by a civilization barely capable of interstellar travel. As Alex steps out, the aliens can't hide their initial disappointment. Alex is clad in a simple utility jumpsuit, holding nothing but a toolkit and their thermos. No specialized equipment, no advanced diagnostic tools. Just a regular human with what appears to be a collection of household items. One alien whispers, "Is this really the best they could send? They appear so unprepared." Alex, catching the murmurs, offers a friendly smile and lifts their thermos. "You'd be surprised what a human and a cup of coffee can do," they say with a wink. The aliens exchange puzzled looks. Coffee? Is it a form of fuel? A type of shield? Verlick steps forward, doing his best to maintain composure. "Human," he begins, his voice dripping with restrained skepticism. "You have been called to assist in a situation requiring the highest level of expertise. Our containment unit is failing, a problem for which no solution within our technology exists." "Containment, huh?" Alex says, looking around. "Show me what we're dealing with." The aliens lead Alex through pristine corridors lined with high-tech displays and holograms of past achievements. Along the way, they can't help but mention, in passing, the advanced systems that power their facility. They describe in great detail the protocols they've followed, the quantum stabilizers they've calibrated, the energy readings they've analyzed. Every word, every gesture screams superiority, an alien pride they wear openly. Alex listens politely, occasionally sipping from the thermos, nodding along. But their thoughts are practical, grounded in years of hands-on experience. It doesn't matter how advanced this place is, they think. Problems are problems, and every system has a weak point. Finally, they reach the containment unit, a massive cylindrical structure pulsing with energy. Screens display rapid fluctuations, and the once steady hum of the reactor has turned into a troubling, uneven thrum. The aliens explain the various components, their complex theories on why the failure might be occurring, and the elaborate measures they've attempted to no avail. Alex puts a hand to their chin, scrutinizing the structure with a critical eye. "Looks to me like your stabilizers are overloading. Have you tried insulating this section here?" They point to a conduit near the base of the unit. The aliens exchange looks of disbelief. "Insulation? That would interfere with the energy flow," one technician stammers. "Our systems are designed to function at maximum efficiency without such crude modifications." Well, Alex shrugs, sometimes crude is exactly what you need. If energy is leaking, you need to contain it, right? Basics first. The aliens are baffled. Basics. The concept seems foreign to them. Their entire approach has been about optimizing, enhancing, refining. But here is a human suggesting something as elementary as insulating a conduit, a solution that seems embarrassingly simple, yet so alien to them. After a lengthy silence, Verlick gestures reluctantly. "Very well, if you believe this method of yours has any chance, proceed. But be aware, our entire facility depends on the system." Alex grins, pulling out a strip of duct tape. The aliens gasp. "Duct tape?" They stare in horror, as if Alex had pulled out a prehistoric artifact. Yet Alex's hands move with confidence, applying the tape around the conduit with practiced ease. "Let's see if this holds," they say, taking a step back to admire their work. The aliens watch in stunned silence. Could this human be right? In all their years of refining and optimizing, they've never considered such a simple, low-tech solution. It's almost embarrassing. But as they monitor the readings, something remarkable happens. The fluctuations begin to stabilize. The reactor's uneven hum smooths out, and the flashing red lights dim, signaling that containment is holding. A murmur ripples through the group. They're seeing it with their own eyes, yet their minds struggle to comprehend it. Could it really be that something as rudimentary as insulation and duct tape could stabilize a system that defies even their most advanced technology? For the first time in perhaps centuries, the aliens experience something new: doubt. Doubt in their technology, doubt in their methods, and perhaps even a glimmer of respect for the ingenuity of Earth's primitive inhabitants. And so, with the containment unit now stable, Alex turns to the group of aliens, offering a modest shrug. See, sometimes you just need a fresh perspective and a bit of tape. The aliens exchange glances, their expressions a blend of awe and bewilderment. To think they had overlooked such a basic fix because it seemed beneath them. Suddenly, Earth's primitive humans didn't seem so primitive after all. What's the simplest tool you've ever used to fix a major problem? Drop it in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy seeing humans outwit the galaxy. With the containment crisis temporarily averted, the aliens escort Alex to a nearby observation room to monitor the reactor's performance. The mood in the room is tense, a mix of begrudging relief and simmering skepticism. Every alien eye is fixed on the display, monitoring the energy levels, as if waiting for the human's primitive fix to fail at any moment. One of the younger aliens, Tvix, peers at the containment unit on the screen, then back at Alex, a puzzled expression crossing his face. Is that adhesive tape? Surely that's not all you used. He sounds both incredulous and a bit offended, as if the very notion of duct tape were an insult to his years of technical training. Alex, leaning casually against a console and sipping coffee, gives Tvix a nonchalant nod. Yep, just a little insulation and a few strips of duct tape. Works wonders on Earth. You'd be amazed at what this stuff can handle. Tvix's jaw drops slightly, and he mutters, "This defies every logical principle we've established." He turns to Verlix, his voice tinged with disbelief. "Commander, are we really relying on tape?" The commander, clearly conflicted, can only offer a stiff nod. "It appears we are, Tvix. We are in uncharted territory here. Perhaps Earth's methods are unconventional yet effective." Another alien, Galar, chimes in, staring at Alex with something bordering on fascination. "I've read reports that humans survive in high radiation zones and thrive in extreme climates without advanced modifications. Is this duct tape, perhaps, the secret to your resilience?" Alex can't help but chuckle. "Well, I wouldn't go that far, but duct tape has definitely saved the day more times than I can count. Sometimes the simplest solution is the best one." A murmur of disbelief ripples through the group. For them, the idea that something so basic could be effective is akin to heresy. They had spent years perfecting intricate containment protocols, investing in exotic materials, and developing ultra-sensitive monitors. Yet here was this human, using tape and a bit of intuition to resolve a crisis they couldn't fathom. Verlix, attempting to mask his bewilderment with professionalism, clears his throat and addresses Alex directly. "We appreciate your unique perspective, human. However, this solution is merely temporary. The system may stabilize for now, but a full repair is essential. Surely you understand that." "Of course," Alex says with a grin. "Temporary fixes are kind of our specialty, though. We'll buy you some time while I take a closer look." Verlix's brow furrows. "Buy time? We don't gamble with time here. Our systems function on predictability and precision. This improvisation is foreign to us." He pauses, then adds in a lower voice, "It's almost reckless." The aliens exchange wary glances, their minds struggling to reconcile this notion of improvisation. To them, it's a concept laced with chaos and risk. The idea that a sentient being would intentionally rely on untested spur-of-the-moment solutions borders on madness. Just then, a low hum pulses through the facility, a warning tone. Tvix rushes to a control panel, his face paling as he reads the data. "Commander, it seems the containment unit is fluctuating again. The energy levels are oscillating outside of normal parameters." Verlix stiffens, his gaze snapping to Alex. "Human, this is precisely what we feared. Your tape solution is failing." But Alex raises a hand, calm as ever. "Relax. I figured something like this might happen. You've got redundancies built into the system, right?" The aliens look at one another, confused. Redundancies? They had built backup systems, of course, but only for catastrophic failures, not for minor fluctuations. In their minds, there was no room for error, no tolerance for fluctuations. "Well, yeah, we have backups," Tvix says slowly, as if unsure whether he should even be mentioning it. "But we rarely use them." "Perfect." Alex's eyes light up as they step over to the control panel, tapping a few buttons. "Let's reroute some of that excess energy." Might need to get creative, but trust me, this can work. Verlix observes with growing skepticism as Alex adjusts the settings, watching the energy levels recalibrate in real time. In their minds, they're witnessing something almost sacrilegious. A human taking liberties with their precious systems, treating the facility's most sacred machinery as if it were some garage project back on Earth. To the aliens, Alex's movements seem random, chaotic. But beneath this apparent chaos, there's a rhythm, a strange confidence that both frightens and intrigues them. It's as if the human is speaking a language they don't understand, performing a kind of technical wizardry that defies logic. As the energy levels stabilize, the aliens let out a collective sigh of relief. And then, to their shock, Alex casually unzips their toolkit, pulling out a small object that sends a chill through the alien ranks, a coffee mug. To them, this is no ordinary tool. They've read about this substance that fuels humans, rumored to have strange properties and even stranger effects on their physiology. "Excuse me," Galar interrupts, his curiosity piqued beyond measure. "Is that coffee? Is it true that you humans consume it regularly? That it somehow grants you enhanced abilities?" Alex chuckles, taking a sip. "Enhanced abilities? Not exactly, but it does make early mornings a bit easier." They glance around at the alien faces staring in awe. "Want to try some?" The aliens recoil, horrified. "Oh no, that would be highly irregular," Tvix stammers. "Our systems operate on strict biochemistry. Introducing such a foreign compound would be unthinkable." "Well," Alex shrugs, "suit yourselves. More for me." The entire room watches in silence as Alex finishes their coffee, as if witnessing some forbidden ritual. They can't comprehend how a creature could derive comfort, no, power, from something as mundane as a caffeinated drink. Yet here stands a human, fearless, grounded, and apparently unbothered by the life and death crisis swirling around them. The aliens, who have long considered themselves to be the most rational beings in the galaxy, begin to question the nature of logic. Here is a human whose actions make no sense on the surface, but seem to achieve the impossible. Could it be that their own obsession with structure and precision is limiting them? Are they, in fact, missing something that humans understand instinctively? Verlix finally speaks, his voice tinged with both awe and frustration. "Tell me, human, is this how your species always operates? With improvisation, with coffee and duct tape?" Alex smirks. "Pretty much. We make do with what we've got, solve problems as they come, and if we need a little boost..." They hold up the thermos with a wink. This does the trick. The aliens exchange looks that convey a mixture of curiosity, admiration, and perhaps a touch of horror. Their minds whirl with possibilities they'd never dared to consider, possibilities that fly in the face of everything they know. Could they perhaps learn something from this Earthling's unorthodox ways? "Commander," Galar begins hesitantly, "perhaps there is merit in broadening our approach to problem solving. If Earth's methods can yield results, maybe we should explore their potential further." Verlix sighs, a deep, reluctant exhale that seems to shake the very core of his being. "Perhaps you're right, Galar, but this is no easy thing to accept. We have spent lifetimes refining our systems to be flawless. To think that a simple patch job could succeed, it defies all we stand for." Alex gives Verlix a reassuring smile. "Hey, look on the bright side. Now you've got a whole new set of techniques to add to your arsenal. Sometimes less is more." Verlix looks back at the reactor, which hums peacefully for the first time in hours. For once, he's lost for words. They all are. What they've just witnessed defies everything they thought they knew. If you were an alien watching a human fix your tech with coffee and duct tape, what would you think? Drop your thoughts below and be sure to subscribe for more human versus alien antics. The relief in the room is short-lived. Moments after the containment unit stabilizes, another warning klaxon echoes through the facility. Red lights flicker to life, casting an ominous glow as another error message flashes across the monitors. Tvix gasps, his voice trembling. "Commander, we have a breach in the coolant system. Energy levels are beginning to spike again. If the coolant fails, the entire reactor will overheat." Verlix's expression tightens as he turns to Alex, struggling to maintain his composure. "Human, We have another complication. If the coolant system is not restored, the containment will fail entirely. Our systems are optimized, but this breach is beyond anything we've seen. Alex sets down their thermos with a sigh, eyes scanning the room as if weighing options. All right, where's the coolant system located? The aliens exchange uneasy glances. Galar clears his throat. It's in the restricted sector, a heavily shielded area that requires multiple authorizations. We usually perform maintenance through automated drones. Human entry is discouraged. Alex raises an eyebrow. Sounds like a challenge. I can work with that. Without waiting for further approval, Alex grabs their toolkit, heading towards the restricted sector. The aliens trail behind, exchanging anxious looks, their rigid sense of protocol shattered by the humans' willingness to march into unknown dangers, with nothing but a bag of tools and a hint of reckless optimism. Upon arriving at the coolant control room, Alex finds the system in shambles. Leaking coolant fluid drips onto the floor, pooling ominously around a series of conduits. Energy levels spike and dip wildly, as though the entire reactor is fighting against itself. Verlick steps forward, scanning the scene. This is catastrophic. Every containment procedure we've developed is failing. Alex crouches down, examining the coolant pipes with an expert eye. You guys over-engineer everything. Sometimes simpler is better. Let's see what we can do with the basics. Reaching into their toolkit, they pull out a heavy-duty wrench and a small roll of plumber's tape. The aliens watch in shock as Alex begins to dismantle one of the control panels with quick, confident motions. Every action seems improvised, instinctual, yet somehow effective. They swap horrified glances, struggling to comprehend the human's casual approach. As Alex secures a loose pipe fitting, Galar whispers, This can't possibly work. Human methods are so rudimentary." Alex overhears and laughs. "Hey, sometimes a rudimentary is exactly what you need. We don't have the luxury of perfect systems on Earth, so we make do. Think of it as survival skills." Suddenly, a loud rumble shakes the room. Alex stumbles but quickly regains their balance, tightening their grip on the wrench. The aliens' faces contort in panic as another alarm blares. Tvix's voice trembles. "Containment pressure is building faster than before. We're running out of time." Verlix turns to Alex, his voice rising with desperation. "Human, we need to shut down the entire facility. It's the only way." But Alex shakes their head, undeterred. "If we shut everything down, the energy will go critical without a cooling system in place. We'll lose control completely. Trust me, I've got a plan." Verlix stares, his disbelief apparent. "Another plan? Are you certain this improvisation will save us?" "Not completely certain," Alex admits, a grin spreading across their face. "But when are we ever?" Without further hesitation, Alex dives into action. They start rerouting coolant manually, using plumber's tape and a wrench to stabilize the leaking pipes. As they work, they glance back at the aliens, who hover in stunned silence. "See, the trick isn't always to fix everything perfectly," Alex explains almost casually as they tighten another fitting. "Sometimes you just need to keep things stable long enough to make it to the next step." The aliens watch in awe, struggling to grasp the logic. For them, stability has always meant perfection, a flawless system operating with precision. But this human, with their haphazard methods, is creating stability out of chaos, achieving the impossible with nothing but tape, a wrench, and sheer willpower. Just as Alex finishes securing the coolant system, another alarm goes off, signaling yet another failure in the containment matrix. Tvix's voice trembles as he reads the data. "Commander, now there's an overload in the energy dispersal grid. If we don't reroute power soon, the entire facility will destabilize." Verlix's voice rises in panic. "This is hopeless. Our systems were not built to withstand this kind of failure. We're out of options." But Alex merely grins, unfazed. "Hey, when all else fails, there's always Plan B." Verlix turns to them, desperate and exasperated. "Plan B?" Alex nods, a mischievous glint in their eye. "On Earth, when we're out of options, we have a little trick. It's called a manual reset. We shut everything down and start from scratch." The aliens gasp, horrified. Tvix stammers, That would be madness. You would risk the entire facility just to reboot the system?" Trust me, sometimes a reset is all you need to clear out the bugs, Alex says. But we have to act fast. If we don't, we'll lose control for good. With no other options left, Verlix hesitantly nods. Very well, human. Proceed with your plan B. Alex moves quickly, guiding the aliens through the steps. Together, they begin shutting down the facility's systems, one by one, a process that fills the aliens with dread. For them, this is the ultimate act of chaos, a desperate leap into the unknown. But for Alex, it's just another day in the life of a human engineer. As they power down the final systems, the room falls silent. The reactor hum ceases, replaced by an eerie calm. Alex takes a deep breath, turning to the control panel with a look of determination. All right, they say, now we reboot. The aliens hold their breath as Alex reactivates the primary systems. One by one, the reactors come back online, energy levels stabilizing in perfect harmony. The lights flicker, then glow steadily. For the first time, the warnings cease, the alarms falling silent. A sense of awe fills the room as the aliens realize what they've just witnessed. This human, this primitive creature from Earth, has not only saved their facility, but has done so in a way they could never have imagined. They've watched Alex wield chaos like a tool, defying their every expectation. Verlix speaks first, his voice barely a whisper. You truly fixed it, with nothing but improvisation? Alex grins, wiping sweat from their brow. Improvisation, duct tape, and a good dose of caffeine. Sometimes that's all you need. The aliens exchange looks, a new respect dawning in their eyes. They've spent lifetimes perfecting their systems, believing in the infallibility of their technology. Yet here, in the midst of crisis, they've been forced to confront the limits of their own perfectionism. Galar steps forward, his gaze intense. Tell me, human, how is it that your kind thrives in such chaos? How do you survive with such simplicity? Alex chuckles. Well, we don't always have the luxury of perfect systems. On Earth, things break, a lot. And when they do, we figure it out, we adapt. Sometimes the simplest solution is the best one. Tvix looks down, his expression thoughtful. Perhaps we could learn from this. The aliens, for the first time, begin to see beyond their own pride, recognizing the strength and adaptability in resilience. They've spent so long relying on flawless systems that they'd forgotten the power of creative problem-solving, of making do with what's available. In that moment, something shifts. They no longer see Alex as a primitive creature, but as an equal, a being of remarkable ingenuity and strength. They realize that this human, with their duct tape and coffee, represents something they've been missing, a sense of adaptability that transcends technology. If you had to survive using only one tool, what would it be? Let us know in the comments, and hit that subscribe button if you think humans can teach the galaxy a thing or two. As the reactor stabilizes, the alien crew stands in stunned silence. They stare at the readouts on their monitors, struggling to comprehend how such a primitive approach has succeeded where their advanced systems failed. The energy levels remain steady, the coolant flows are restored, and containment pressure has returned to safe levels. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, the alarms are silent. Verlix, the lead engineer, breaks the silence, his voice low and almost reverent. It's working, it's actually working. His gaze shifts to Alex, who is calmly sipping coffee and inspecting their handiwork with a satisfied nod. Galar, another technician, steps forward, his eyes wide with awe. Human, your methods, they defy every principle we hold. We spent decades refining our systems, eliminating every ounce of unpredictability, yet you, he gestures to the duct tape and improvised repairs scattered around the room. You did this with tape? Alex smirks, unfazed. Sometimes all you need is the basics. I've learned over the years that you don't always need perfection. You just need something that works. The aliens exchange looks of disbelief. For them, this is more than just a successful repair. It's an upheaval of their very understanding of technology, of logic, of existence itself. They've always believed that the path to advancement was through refinement, through flawless systems and protocols. But this human has shown them a different way, a way that relies on adaptability, on resilience, on embracing the messiness of life. Tvix, the young technician, speaks up, his voice tinged with confusion. I don't understand. How can you bear to live in such chaos? How can you thrive when nothing is certain, when everything is subject to improvisation? Alex laughs, a warm, genuine sound that fills the sterile room. It's not chaos to us, it's just life. Things break, situations change, and we learn to roll with it. They pause, looking around at the alien faces, staring back in stunned silence. You know, sometimes it's the unpredictability that keeps things interesting. Galar shakes his head slowly, his expression a mix of awe and bewilderment. But doesn't that frighten you? The idea that everything could collapse at any moment? Alex shrugs. Maybe a little, but fear isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's what keeps us sharp, keeps us adapting. Besides, if things went perfectly all the time, life would be pretty boring, wouldn't it? The aliens are silent, each grappling with the implications of Alex's words. For their entire existence, they've been conditioned to fear instability, to see uncertainty as a flaw, a weakness. Yet here stands a human who seems to embrace it, to thrive in it, even to find joy in the chaos. It's a perspective so foreign, so unfathomable, that they can barely process it. Verlix finally speaks, his voice filled with a newfound respect. Human, we owe you our thanks. Without your intervention, this facility would have faced disaster. But I must ask, how did your species come to be this way? How did you learn to embrace imperfection? Alex considers this for a moment, then smiles. I guess it's because Earth isn't exactly the easiest place to live. We've got hurricanes, earthquakes, volcanoes, constant reminders that we're not in control. But instead of trying to conquer nature, we learned to adapt. And in the process, we found strength and flexibility. The aliens listen in silence, absorbing every word. For the first time, they begin to see the human not as a primitive creature, but as a being of profound resilience, shaped by a world that demands adaptability. They begin to wonder if, perhaps, their own pursuit of perfection has robbed them of something essential, a capacity for growth, for change, for resilience. Tvix, unable to hold back his curiosity, asks, is that why humans seem to rely on unconventional tools? Is that why you carry tape and coffee? Alex chuckles. You could say that. On Earth, we make do with what we have. Duct tape, coffee, a bit of ingenuity. It's all part of the toolkit. And sometimes the simplest things turn out to be the most effective. The aliens exchange thoughtful glances, each of them processing this revelation in their own way. For so long, they've prided themselves on their advanced technology, their flawless systems. Yet here stands a human who seems to achieve the impossible with nothing more than basic tools and a can-do attitude. It's humbling and perhaps a little unsettling. Verlix turns to his colleagues, his expression somber. Perhaps we have been too rigid in our approach. Perhaps there is something to be learned from this Earthling's adaptability. The room falls silent as each alien contemplates this notion, their minds racing with possibilities. Could it be that their obsession with perfection has blinded them to the value of improvisation, of resilience? Have they, in their quest for flawless systems, lost touch with the very essence of survival? Finally, Galar speaks, his tone reflective. We have spent so long trying to eliminate every flaw, every ounce of unpredictability. But maybe it is the flaws that make us strong. Alex smiles, nodding in agreement. Exactly. Sometimes it's the imperfections that push us to be better. They keep us on our toes, make us more resourceful. And who knows, maybe that's what makes life interesting. The aliens exchange nods, a newfound respect glimmering in their eyes. They've come to understand that this human, with their unconventional tools and their chaotic approach, represents something they had never considered, a strength born not from perfection, but from the willingness to adapt, to change, to embrace the unknown. As they stand there, each alien grappling with this revelation, a sense of transformation fills the room. They are no longer merely scientists and engineers in a sterile facility. They are beings on the cusp of a new understanding, a new way of thinking. And in that moment, they realize that they have been given a gift, a glimpse into a different path, one that values resilience over rigidity, adaptability over precision. Verlix turns to Alex, his voice filled with gratitude and humility. Thank you, human. You have given us more than a solution. You have given us a new way of seeing the world. Perhaps we too can learn to embrace imperfection. Alex nods, a warm smile on their face. Anytime. And hey, if you ever need a crash course in duct tape engineering, you know where to find me. The aliens chuckle, a sound filled with a newfound warmth and camaraderie. They've been changed by this experience, their worldview forever altered by the human's resilience, their ability to turn chaos into stability. They've come to understand that strength is not always found in perfection, but in the ability to adapt, to embrace uncertainty, to find strength in the face of the unknown. If you were an alien learning about human resilience, what would surprise you the most? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more human ingenuity in the face of alien skepticism. Just as the facility's systems begin to settle, a new alert pierces the air, a high-pitched tone that sends a chill down the spines of every alien present. Verlix rushes to the control panel, his eyes widening as he reads the data. This can't be. The energy dispersal grid is destabilizing. The energy buildup is spiking again, but this time it's... He trails off, his voice trembling. This time it's approaching critical overload. Alex looks up from their work, their expressions steady, though the concern is visible in their eyes. Critical overload? What's that mean in your terms? Galar responds, his tone grim. If the overload continues, the entire facility will go into catastrophic failure. It would be an extinction-level event for everyone within a 50-mile radius. Without missing a beat, Alex sets down their tools, the look of someone who's faced disasters before etched on their face. All right, guess it's time for Plan C. Let's get to work. The aliens exchange panicked glances. Plan C? Tvix stammers. Human, we've tried everything. There's no protocol left to follow. Alex grins, though there's a fierce determination in their eyes. Good thing I don't rely on protocols. We're going to improvise, so I hope you're ready. Verlix hesitates, but he knows they have no choice. With a reluctant nod, he gestures for his team to follow Alex. Whatever you need, human. We're with you. Alex leads the group to the main control room, moving with purpose as they scan the various systems. The containment unit is visibly stressed, glowing with a dangerous intensity that sends waves of energy pulsing through the facility. Alarms are blaring, lights flickering. Chaos reigns. All right, Alex says, we need to bleed off this excess energy. Any way to redirect it temporarily? Galar responds, we have auxiliary conduits, but they aren't designed to handle this much output. They'd collapse under the strain. Perfect, Alex replies, pulling out a roll of heavy-duty wiring and duct tape. Then we'll just have to reinforce them. Give me access to those conduits. The aliens stare, horrified. Reinforce it with tape? Tvix asks, his voice incredulous. Human, this is madness. Madness? Alex smirks, securing the wiring around the conduits with practiced ease. No, this is just problem-solving. Trust me, I've done this 100 times. The aliens watch, their faces a mix of awe and terror, as Alex patches together the auxiliary conduits, wrapping them in layers of tape and wiring with a speed that borders on reckless. Verlix, his usual stoicism broken, leans in, his voice trembling. Human, are you certain this will hold? Certain, Alex laughs. Not in the slightest, but it'll buy us some time. And right now, that's all we need. As Alex works, the alarms grow louder, signaling that the overload is approaching critical levels. The tension is palpable, the air thick with fear. The aliens clutch their instruments, their eyes wide as they watch the human work with a calm that defies logic. They can barely comprehend how someone could remain so composed in the face of imminent disaster. Suddenly, the energy levels begin to stabilize, the readout showing a steady decline. The aliens gasp, unable to believe what they're seeing. It's working, Tvix whispers, his voice filled with awe. The conduits are holding. But just as the team begins to relax, another alert sounds, a deep, ominous rumble that reverberates through the walls. The main reactor, already under extreme stress, has begun to fracture, cracks spreading across its surface. Verlix's face drains of color. The reactor casing, it's failing. There's no way to contain it if it breaches. Alex takes a deep breath, their face set with grim determination. All right, Plan D it is. The aliens exchange panicked looks. How many plans do humans have? Galar asks, his voice barely above a whisper. Alex smiles, though it's clear they're feeling the pressure. As many as it takes. With time running out, Alex grabs an emergency shield from a storage cabinet, securing it over the reactor casing to try and minimize the damage. They're moving quickly, almost recklessly, their hands steady but their mind racing. It's a gamble, and they know it, but they're used to taking risks. Listen up, Alex says, their voice loud and commanding, cutting through the chaos. I'm going to need everyone to reroute every available ounce of energy into the reactor shield. We're going to stabilize this thing if it's the last thing we do. Verlix hesitates, his pride wavering as he realizes that for all their advanced technology, it's the human who's leading them in this critical moment. With a nod, he orders his team to follow Alex's instructions, every alien moving with newfound urgency. The team works in tandem, rerouting energy into the shield, monitoring containment levels, and following Alex's lead without question. The aliens are filled with a strange, newfound respect for the humans' courage, their resilience. For the first time, they understand that there's a power in adaptability, a strength in facing the unknown with a smile and a steady hand. The reactor begins to stabilize, the energy levels falling to safe parameters. The lights return to normal, the alarms finally silencing. There's a moment of stunned silence as everyone stares at the reactor, unable to believe what they've just witnessed. Verlix looks at Alex, his face a mix of exhaustion and awe. Human, I don't know how to thank you. You've saved us. Alex smiles, wiping sweat from their brow. No need to thank me. Just another day in the life of a human engineer. The aliens laugh, a sound filled with relief and newfound camaraderie. They faced the brink of disaster together, and they know now that this human, this so-called primitive being, has taught them more than they ever expected. As they prepare to shut down for the day, Tvix approaches Alex, his voice hesitant but sincere. Human, Alex, you've changed us. I don't think we'll ever see things the same way again. Alex claps him on the shoulder, a grin on their face. Glad to hear it. Sometimes a little chaos is all you need to find a new perspective. If you had to come up with a last-ditch plan D in a crisis, what would it be? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales of humans surprising the galaxy. With the reactor stabilized and the facility out of danger, a quiet settles over the control room. The alien team stands in a state of stunned calm, each of them processing the events that have unfolded. They've narrowly avoided catastrophe, saved by the ingenuity and adaptability of a single human, a being they had once viewed as primitive and inferior. Verlix, the lead engineer, approaches Alex, his usually stoic expression softened by gratitude. Human, Alex, you have done more than save this facility. You have shown us that there is strength in methods we once dismissed. In all my years, I never imagined I'd learn from one of Earth's primitives. But now, I see we were wrong. Alex smiles, their face weary yet content. Glad I could help. You know, sometimes it just takes a little out-of-the-box thinking. The aliens nod, each of them quietly reflecting on their own rigidity. They've always prized precision, perfection, and control, but now, for the first time, they understand the power of adaptability, of making do with what's available. It's a revelation that shakes them to their core. Tvix, the youngest technician, steps forward, his voice filled with awe. We spent our lives building flawless systems, eliminating every margin for error. But you showed us that there is value in imperfection, in the ability to adapt. I never thought I'd say this, but perhaps we have much to learn from Earth. Galar nods in agreement. Indeed, we've always viewed ourselves as superior, but now I see that superiority is not in technology alone. It's in the courage to face the unknown, to work with limited tools and still find solutions. You humans, you possess a kind of strength we can barely comprehend. Alex chuckles. Well, life on Earth isn't exactly easy. We've had to learn to adapt, to survive in unpredictable conditions. I guess we just got used to rolling with the punches. The aliens listen in silence, absorbing each word with newfound respect. They realize that their pursuit of perfection has, in some ways, held them back. In striving for flawlessness, they have lost touch with the resilience, the resourcefulness that Alex embodies so naturally. Verlix looks at Alex, his eyes reflecting a depth of gratitude that words can barely express. "Thank you, human. You have not only saved our facility, you have given us a new way of thinking, a new approach to our work. I believe you may have changed us forever." Alex grins, clapping him on the shoulder. "Any time. And if you ever need a bit of duct tape or a good cup of coffee, you know where to find me." The aliens chuckle, a warm sound that fills the room with a sense of unity, of camaraderie that transcends their differences. They no longer see Alex as a mere human, but as a being of incredible resilience, a source of wisdom they never expected. As the team begins their final checks, Alex looks around, noticing the way the aliens now handle their equipment, their actions infused with a new sense of flexibility. They're no longer rigid in their movements. There's an openness, a willingness to embrace uncertainty. Tivix turns to Alex, a thoughtful expression on his face. "Human, I must ask, is this adaptability? Is it something we can learn, or is it unique to your kind?" Alex considers this, a smile touching their lips. "I think it's something anyone can learn. You just have to be willing to take risks, to face the unknown without all the answers, and sometimes you just have to trust yourself." The aliens nod, each of them feeling a quiet resolve to carry this lesson forward. They've been given a gift, a new way of seeing the world, a strength they hadn't realized they possessed. They know now that adaptability isn't a weakness, it's a strength, a skill that could very well define their future. As Alex packs up their tools, preparing to return to Earth, Verlix approaches one last time, his face filled with gratitude. "Human, please know that you will always be welcome here. We will remember what you've taught us, and perhaps we will try to be a bit more like you." Alex nods, offering a warm smile. "Thank you. And remember, if all else fails, there's always duct tape." The aliens laugh, the sound full of appreciation and respect. They watch as Alex boards their ship, each of them feeling a sense of pride and hope, as if they've been given a second chance. A chance to embrace a future shaped not by flawless systems, but by resilience, adaptability, and the courage to face the unknown. As the ship departs, the aliens stand in quiet reflection, each of them changed in ways they can barely understand. They know now that they have witnessed something profound, something that will linger long after Alex has returned to Earth. What's the biggest lesson you think aliens would learn from humans? Share your thoughts below, and if you enjoyed the journey, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales of humanity's resilience. Months later, back on Earth, Alex reflects on the experience with a sense of pride and humor. They still can't quite believe they managed to convince an advanced alien civilization to fix their high-tech systems with duct tape and coffee. Every so often they chuckle to themselves, imagining the bewildered looks on the aliens' faces as they watched Earth's primitive methods stabilize their world-class facility. Meanwhile, on Kexla 9, the changes brought about by Alex's visit are unmistakable. The facility's protocols, once rigid and unyielding, have been adjusted to allow for flexibility, for improvisation. In the break room, a small shrine has even been erected, complete with a roll of duct tape, a wrench, and at the center, a steaming mug of synthetic coffee, an homage to the human who changed everything. The aliens have embraced this new approach with surprising enthusiasm. During an interdepartmental meeting, Verlix himself addresses the assembly, his voice filled with a sense of newfound purpose. "Colleagues, we have seen that resilience is not found in flawless systems alone. As they move forward, the alien team occasionally receives transmissions from Earth, each one bringing a smile to their faces. Alex sends them updates, sharing stories of Earth's improvisational feats, and sometimes, just for a laugh, they send over photos of makeshift human repairs. The aliens find themselves fascinated, even inspired by the ingenuity of their human friends. In one such transmission, Alex's voice crackles through the speakers, accompanied by their usual humor. "Hope you're all doing well out there. And remember, when things get tough, just grab a roll of duct tape and a cup of coffee. Works every time." The aliens laugh, a sound filled with camaraderie and warmth. They know now that Earth's primitives possess a wisdom they had never anticipated, a strength born not of technology, but of adaptability and resilience. And so, as the months pass, the aliens on Kexla 9 continue to adapt, to evolve. They face each new challenge with a renewed sense of courage, knowing that, thanks to one human's influence, they have the power to improvise, to find solutions that lie outside their rigid systems. From this point forward, the Galactic Council itself takes note of Earth's ingenuity. Rumors begin to spread of the humans from the death world who can solve the impossible with a smile and a roll of tape. Other alien civilizations grow curious, intrigued by the species that defies logic and thrives in chaos. Perhaps they think Earth's so-called primitive inhabitants have something to teach the entire galaxy. What advice would you give to an alien civilization about surviving in chaos? Comment below and don't miss more HFY adventures. Subscribe now for more human ingenuity in the face of the unknown.